Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So I asked you guys in a tweet to share me, or well, to ask away some of your, I don't know, questions that you're curious about with me or whatever, as part of the 50,000 subscriber special. We did this for 25k subs, so I figured I'd do it again, go through some of the questions that that you guys have asked and see if I can answer some of them. If they're overwhelmingly personal, I probably will not answer them, but of the others, I probably will. So we'll just start diving away. What do we got here? Payne's asking, what will I do for future content? I'm probably going to stick with Legends for as long as I can. I got my other channel is dedicated towards all sorts of other games though, so be sure to check that out. Mirza is asking, what movie can you watch over and over again and never get tired of? There's a movie called Dante's Peak. It's a volcano movie with Pierce Brosnan as the main character, and it's a very strange, it's not a strange movie. I just grew up as a kid watching it, and I don't know what it is, but I could watch that movie forever and ever and ever and not get tired of it. It's just one of those movies that sticks with you. I really enjoy it. What are you interested in that most people aren't? I don't know, I feel like all my interests are aligned pretty much with common things that other people like. So I enjoy fitness, I enjoy video games, I enjoy, manga, anime. I think it's all the same. I feel like I'm not anyone particularly special. I'm pretty generic. What got you into doing YouTube videos? So I guess a lot of you are probably new since I first answered this, but a long time ago, like when Legends was just a couple months old, I remember just playing one day, not thinking anything of it, just wee old Raiyuden, Ryu boy, just playing away, and I stumbled across Rhyme Style, and I didn't know, and Rhyme Style just destroyed me. I will leave a link to that video in the description box below. It says Demon King Piccolo Showcase. I lost. I got wiped, and I remember not thinking anything of it. And when Demon King Piccolo came out, he came out with Hercule as part of a step-up banner. And I think it was Demon King Piccolo, Hercule, and maybe one more unit. I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember I was free to play at this point, so I didn't have any CC. I was like, whatever, I wonder what these characters can do. And Rhyme Style did a thing on Demon King Piccolo, and I saw myself at the end, and I was like, wow, I got absolutely embarrassed. I got destroyed. So interestingly enough, you can actually still find this post, but I go to the Dragon Ball Legends subreddit and I ask people, how do I get better? And I got some funny advice, and then I realized I should just record how I play and then refer back to it, because you in the middle of a match and then you being able to see what you're doing wrong are two entirely different things, and it could be helpful. And one of the things I started to do was upload them to YouTube just to get people's advice. And it started off small. I eventually, got one person looking, two people looking, and it slowly grew from there. And then eventually, we established a small little community. I remember getting 100 people subscribed, and they were enjoying what I was doing, and I was like, wow, this is great. There's people. I eventually started shifted towards enjoying making content on the game as opposed to just trying to improve on my own. So that's kind of where the ball got going with the channel, right there. I really enjoyed myself. Before that, I used to make videos on like Fallout 4, Fallout 3, just playing random stuff, Battlefield. I ended up removing those videos because for whatever reason, but that's what I used to do at first, every now and then. But really, the Legends stuff from there is what kicked us off. What are my hopes for Legends in the future? My hope is that they do something about matchmaking. So the way that I think matchmaking works right now is, try to imagine, look at where you are overhead, like Google Maps. You are in your home playing the game, and when you press PvP, the game sends out almost like a beacon to who to have you queued against, and it's going to choose the person that's closest to you, because that's how you're going to get a really good connection after all, right? Because ping is all about the time it takes for a packet to go from you to someone else and back. So you want your ping to be as short as possible, so data transfers quickly as possible and you have a smooth connection. I don't know what it is about the game, but it almost feels like it doesn't do that right. I get paired, for example, and this is not intended to be disrespectful, I get paired against opponents that I know are in Brazil. And Brazil is like, I think 8 or 9,000 kilometers away from where I live. And I found it very confusing because I've never, almost never come across a Japanese player. And yet I seem to always come across Brazilian players. And it's very interesting to me because geographically, Japan is closer to me than Brazil is. So why is there just this massive distinction? I hope they improve on that matchmaking and they do something about it, because this game's biggest selling point is PvP. If that experience is not good, then what do you got left, right? It's not going to be that great. So my hope is that they really improve on that. Now, obviously, I hope they also double down on new interesting events, new modes, expand upon some of the features that they introduced, like guilds. I'd love for them to expand on dual units. I don't want just a new unit to show up in the middle of a Rising Rush or a card or whatever. Make them do something. My hope is that something like with the main ability, you swap out to a different unit and your kit changes entirely. It's almost like you're running 2 units. All units have 2 passives, so it could be like one unit owns one passive, the second passive the other unit owns. Maybe you switch from a support type to a defense unit, stuff like that. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it'd be cool. What do we got? What is one game you want to play and record but don't have time to? A lot of RPG games like the Outer Worlds. I really want to play that right now. We know you play Dokkan or Legends, but do you play Seven Deadly Sins, Grand Cross, and Pokemon Masters? I played them all a little bit, but I never really got into them. That's just me though. I just didn't find them enjoyable, that's all. I'm sure they're fantastic games, but they never really stuck with me. What are your final anniversary predictions? I'm actually recording this after we got the anniversary news, because this is when I had the time, so we already know what they are. What's it like being an engineer? How well is the pay? It's definitely a career I'd like to try. So I'm a software engineer, for those that don't know, and being a software engineer is essentially you trying to solve, customer related problems through software. So they'll come to you, well, it depends on how your job is, but like you work as part of a team to create a bunch of features through software. Whether you integrate it with hardware or not depends on what sort of specific, I guess, path you go through, because there's like embedded, application, whatever, front end, back end. You just work together with a team to develop features for a customer. And the way it works is your manager, team lead, and stuff like that will take what the customer wants and break it down into tasks that will get brought to you guys to do together. And then there's this whole sophisticated process towards how do you go from planning it, how do you go from establishing how long it'll take, how difficult is it, how much will it cost, how much time it'll take. And then that gets moved on to another step where you start working on it. And then the next step is where you guys verify that you did everything the customer wants. Because you don't want the customer to be like, hey, I want you to make this piece of software that, I don't know, I give it 2 colors and it puts them together, and then your piece of software doesn't do that, but instead what it does is it takes the 2 colors and then gives you a number. You're like, what the hell? This is completely unrelated to what I wanted. You go through that step to make sure you satisfy the requirements, and then you go and test and maintain it. So you verify that everything works properly, because you don't want it to break when you give it to them, and you want to maintain it. Sometimes your customer wants, new features and stuff. So that's basically a rough gist of what I do. How well is the pay? Well, I mean, I think I'll leave it to you, because it all comes down to where you live. Pay obviously differs around different cities, countries, because it's all in relation to the cost of living of where you are. Career you'd like to try. One thing I want to give note is, I'm not going to say find a passion for your career, but find something you will enjoy doing for a large portion of your life. Like, you don't have to be like diehard passionate and spend 15 hours a day doing this thing. But obviously make sure you do something that you don't mind doing, because it's going to make up sort of the bulk of your life. You don't want to spend every waking minute hating what you do. You want to be able to say, all right, I feel good today, let's do a good job at work, and then end the day off with, like, I don't know, some ice cream or something. You don't want to be miserable. So I guess that's just my little tidbit for you guys. Thanks for the awesome content. Thank you guys for tuning in. Can Kakarot come back? It's kind of tricky because it wasn't doing well on the channel. So, and all these things play together because YouTube is very picky and wants to make sure that it's always pushing out content that's good. And most people come in for the Legends stuff, so it'd probably not be a good idea. Tell us of the time you first met Bebop, Goresh, and Co. So Bebop, the first time I met Bebop was when I did my first ever live stream when I was very, very tiny. He tuned in and I was just so taken back and nervous because Bebop was already known as a fantastic player, and even now he's just gotten better and better despite being on hiatus for the longest time. And we played together and I obviously got destroyed, but that was my first time meeting him. Meeting Goresh, I don't remember the first time we met. I think it was just through Twitter exchange, and then eventually from there we got into more and more communication because the circle of content creators is pretty close. And from there we just became, we just started conversating more, and now we're all like really good friends. Is there a point where you would do full-time YouTube? No, I wouldn't. I don't want to live with the thought of, is the algorithm gonna make my channel obsolete, or what's the most hype thing I have to do to generate the most clicks or stuff like that, because for two reasons. One, that's far too stressful to want to live with, and two, it would influence the content because I do this for fun. I don't want it to be something where I have to do the most clickbaity, trendy thing just to get people to watch. I just want to be able to do stuff that I find fun and share with you guys, and then that's it. I don't want it to have to be like, oh, I gotta do this thing. YouTube is not so secure because you never know. A year from now, I could be completely irrelevant and I'm gone. You never know. It's not in my control, and because there are too many factors into it that are outside of my control, it's not a wise career choice for me. Unless you're like 10 million subs and you have a specific, not niche, but you can work anywhere like PewDiePie, then that's entirely different. What made you start? I've already said. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. I spent a lot of time throughout my life working really hard, sort of like constant uphill climbs, and the fruits of my labor I'm like finally starting to enjoy. School was difficult. Working was difficult. Working while doing school was difficult. Taking care of things on a personal level was difficult, but now things have gotten better. Granted, full-time work is stressful and it does take time, but I'm happier to be where I am now than where I was like 2 years ago, for example. What's your favorite thing to have for lunch? I like pizza quite a bit. Next collab with Rhymestyle, I'm always open to working with Rhyme. I had a lot of fun the first time we worked together. Where will you live stream your podcast reactions? This has already happened, so I wasn't gonna live stream it. The video's already up. Where am I from? I'm not gonna say, it's personal. What is your favorite Dragon Ball game of all time? That's a difficult one. Could be Legacy of Goku. I just have such a fun time thinking about the game because I remember being a kid and just playing it on my SP. What got you to start YouTube? We already said. What's your real name? Not gonna say. What are your favorite foods or snacks? I like brownies. I like chips. I like pizza, burgers. I like everything, really. I just like eating. No, my name is not Andrew. I'll give you that. Were there ever times where you thought of quitting Legends? Because the past videos during the 3x RRP season, you seem very upset and disappointed in the choice the Legends team was making. I never think of quitting Legends, but I do think of like, because for me, I don't take the game seriously. If I lose, I lose. Who cares? If I win, I win. Who cares? So when I play, I don't play the game's PvP very much, and anytime a game stops being fun, I just take a break from it. So the 3x RP season was a bit of a chore because it brought out more cheaters and laggers and stuff, and that's not enjoyable. So I was like, I just found myself taking more of a break. But if you make daily content on it, obviously you're gonna have to sort of force yourself to play it a little bit. But yeah, it was a bit of a chore. I didn't like that season at all. It was not good. Any new Dragon Ball games to the channel, like Fighters? I'm thinking about it. I do like the idea. Fighters is like a super skill-based game. I love that. That's what I wish Legends was like, but it might be impossible in a phone game. Do you think we'll ever get new units that can transform into Great Ape? It's probably on the table. Do you get better pulls in Dokkan or in Legends? I think it's equal, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but lately I've gotten stupid lucky. When will you stop bandwagon against certain units and teams? I don't understand. I guess he means like not using certain units or teams that I don't enjoy. In particular, like Yellow Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Bojack and stuff. It's not. I don't want to call it bandwagoning against. It's just they're boring. It's not fun. The thing that's fun in PvP is competitiveness, and those two take it away because they're just so easy to use. There's no sort of consequence of playing wrong in the game. It just feels like you don't have to take anything seriously because they're just so ridiculously easy to use. Thoughts on UI Goku on Global? Probably one of my favorite units in the game right now. I really enjoy using him. He's a ton of fun. Which one of these is the worst in Legends? I don't remember these codes off the top of my head, but I would imagine one of these guys are the Spirit Bomb Goku, I think. I don't remember. I can't say. Favorite memory? Oh boy, I can't say because then it's personal. So I'm not gonna say that. I think my fondest memory relating to Legends, though, was getting the LF Super Saiyan 3 for the first time. That was a lot of fun. I got him on an animation I didn't think was gonna give me him. Vegeta never pulls through for me. Do you lose matches in Legends because of Rising Rush, and how do you deal with it? Yes, happens all the time. But I lose in general, too. There are people that are just better than me. It's just the way it is. I'm not willing to accept that... Not willing to accept that other people are better than you is not a good thing. Otherwise, how do you improve? Not acknowledging your mistakes or your faults is not going to help you try to rectify those things. So yes, I lose all the time. There are players way better than me. It's just the way it is. Doesn't matter. If someone beats me, then I lose. You just take it as it is and you say, alright, next time I'll make sure not to make those mistakes. How is your daily quarantine life? It's good. Things are super simple for me. Less commutes to work. Don't really gotta do much. I try to make sure I get at some sunlight for sure though, because the vitamin D is important. Get out there, get some fresh air, get some sun, walk outside, you know, always be sure to be active still too, because we could get very comfortable with this quarantine lifestyle. Favorite anime besides Dragon Ball? Hajime no Ippo, Fighting Spirit, I like that quite a bit. Berserk as well. Who's your favorite unit to use in Legends besides NES SJ3? I like Namek Goku, the LF, I think he's a ton of fun. What are your current thoughts on the arc of the manga? It seems a little easy to follow. It just seems like the same recipe where it's kind of like, you know, Goku does his thing, you know, new powerful villain, our protagonists lose. Usually the twist is, oh, Goku doesn't win this time, he loses, and then Vegeta comes through with something. But I think what's going to happen is Vegeta's going to lose, and then afterwards Goku's going to... They're either going to fuse, or Goku comes up with some new power-up and wins. It's usually how it always goes. My skinny Spanish kid, nope. Ketchup or mayonnaise? Ketchup. This post has more comments than likes, not anymore. What is your ideal perfect life? A life where I can sustain myself without having to work, because that's not laziness. I don't think wanting to work... I don't think not wanting to work translates to laziness, because why on earth would anyone want to encourage having to work? Wouldn't you want to spend your time doing what you want to do? Cats or dogs? For me, dogs. Have you ever had a creepy experience? Yes, of course. How'd you come up with your YouTube name? When I was a kid, a long time ago, I came up with Raiyuden off the top of my head, completely without knowing that Raiden already existed, so I thought that was funny. The UFam guild is full. I noticed you never use profanity on your videos. Is that a YouTube friendly thing or more personal? That's a personal thing, just the way I was raised. I don't use profanity ever. I think that if you're ever upset, there are probably more comfortable and sophisticated ways to, I don't know, share that you're upset than to use profanity. Missed the last one, but this tweet ain't escaping me this time. What was your first reaction when you first saw Super Saiyan 3? I thought it was cool. You gotta admit, between Super Saiyan 1 and 2, they pretty much look the same, but this was one of the first transformations at the time where Goku had a drastic change in the way he looked. Yeah, he had no eyebrows, but the long hair combined with that was super cool, and it's one of the few forms that he has where Goku is serious. It's just this awesome, like, shift of the character to where he's like, alright, I gotta I gotta go all out kind of thing. When did you start to love Super Saiyan 3? When I first saw it. What got you into Dragon Ball? When I was a kid, it always showed up on TV. That's how it got started. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Okay, yeah, I guess it's a fusion question. Will I do a face reveal? At some point. I plan on it. It's just I value anonymity, so probably not anytime soon for now. Face reveal. Already answered. What do I do for a living? Answered. What's your age? Too personal. Ever do face reveal? I said. Came up with a name? I said. How did you first start and how you have a pet? I already said that. What made you get into Legends? It's Dragon Ball. It's a Dragon Ball fighting game. I like it. You know, at first I didn't like it. I mainly just played Dokkan, and then Legends showed up, and a friend told me to try it out, and I first tried it out, and I was like, this doesn't seem that fun, to be honest, because I thought the card system at first wasn't that enjoyable, but it's one of those games where you gotta play it more and more to understand how they made a fighting game with the card system. It wouldn't be possible without it. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to everything. I don't stick to a specific genre. I just listen to, if the song is good, I don't care about the genre. I just care about the song. Final prediction already said. If Legends messes up the anniversary, will you stop playing? Nope. I will continue on with it because I have faith in the developers. What's your normal day? I think I already said. Would you suggest trying to start a Legends channel? Just start trying whenever. Go ahead and do it. It's really simple for this game. Just use your phone, have a microphone to talk, and then just go ahead. Because the best time to start is now, always. How does it feel seeing on how you're a small YouTuber maybe a year ago or so to now knowing so many awesome people and having a great time even when the game isn't at its best? It's a surreal feeling because I didn't think any of this would happen. You gotta remember, I explained earlier how I started, and to be where we are now is huge because I always try to put the subscriber count into perspective here. When I was at 100, I was thinking, wow, that's like 2 or 3 high school classrooms. When I hit 1,000, I was like, wow, that's like 2 auditoriums for a lecture at, university. When I hit 10,000, I was like, whoa, that's like half a campus at a university or college. When we hit 50,000, I was like, holy crap, that is like a packed stadium for a super hype event. Isn't that crazy? 50,000 people. That is amazing. 50,000 people are interested in seeing the stuff that you produce. That's, to me, is just so mind-blowing, and I'm just so grateful for. Space reveal, I said. Which chipmunk? I don't understand. Not gonna say. Favorite pizza topping is chicken. Other games on your main? I'm not sure yet. Do I speak French? No. Do I remember you? Yes. Face reveal? Not. I already explained. I'm not gonna answer that. If you could reboot any Dragon Ball villain from the past, who would it be? I would probably redo Turles' story. I think that he deserves it. I already said the anime stuff. When did I begin? Many years ago. I already explained the life. Face reveal. Any other favorite? I already said. Play against Libra or Rhyme. Yeah, we could do that. I already faced Rhyme. When will our exotic gamer? When will we have our rematch to spar until we perfect the system of PvP? We'll see when it happens. Does PvP have a possibility of getting a rework? I don't think so. I think the underlying infrastructure is it takes quite a bit for them to fix what they have to fix, and I think they're gonna cut their losses. I don't know if they'll actually do it. Pepperoni or sausage? Neither. One Dragon Ball series becomes canon and every other series becomes non-canon. Which do you keep and why? Dragon Ball Z because of Super Saiyan 3. Everything else can be non-canon. How do you record your voice when playing? I have a microphone set up and I record on Audacity. When I screen record, the audio of the game is much louder than my voice. You have to change the settings for that. If you're recording your voice straight from your phone is merging the audio between game audio and your microphone audio. So go into the game settings and lower the game audio, or find a way to record them separately so that you can tinker with the volume. What was your first favorite game and what was it about? Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls. Favorite hobbies: powerlifting, you know, hiking, going outside, walking on trails and stuff like that. I already said when I start. Additional advice for beginners, YouTube beginners: love what you do it, you know, have fun with it, because there's going to be moments where you probably don't want to do it. And if you're not going to have fun, you're not going to persevere. And then interact with your fan base and just be consistent with it. Where'd you get the name? I made it up. Why am I such a cool guy? I just be chill with things, and then that's just the way it is. Just try to take a neutral standpoint on things. What's something you've learned during this tough time, this rough time we're all going through? That I'm pretty, for myself, I guess just being able to remain consistent with things. I'm pretty good at remaining consistent, but I did realize I need to go outside more, because sunlight does affect my mood quite a bit. Any tips on how to train yourself to be more patient in Legends? That's a hard thing to do. It really is. You got to read your opponent and then just try it. Like, get your thumb off the screen and then just stay there. Try doing that. Did you go to college? Yes. What did you study? I studied computer science, software engineering. Planning to do face reveal? I don't know. Favorite villain? I don't want to say Broly counts as a villain, but he kind of does. So I'm going to go with Broly. What are your plans when you make it big on YouTube? I'm just going to keep doing the same thing, but improve upon aspects that I can. That's all. I'm not going to really change too much. Other shows, games, I think I already said. Favorite character in Dragon Ball, Broly or Bardock. Other games playing on your gaming channel, I'm not sure yet. I said that. FBI versus Raiyuden, bring it on. Ethnicity, not gonna say. New units that I wanted, it's too late now. I was hoping for like Dragon Fist and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Already said. What? No. I like Naruto. Future goals, full-time YouTuber, or I'm gonna stay with what I'm doing. Do my regular 9 to 5 and do YouTube on the side, because YouTube is a hobby and not guaranteed. Just a wiser way to do things for me. What do I want most? What I want most out of the second year anniversary isn't the hypest units. It's them to do actual changes that benefit the game. I want us to walk out of this anniversary saying that the changes they made to the game have made it amazingly better. And what I mean by that is better matchmaking, new quality of life changes, like simple things like let me sell more than 20 pieces of equipment, let me exchange more than 10 at a time, stuff like that. How am I? I'm good. Traumatic experience would be personal. Super Saiyan God Shallot is expected, because going the God way just gives them more forms. How am I doing? I'm good. Explained. How do you think they should bring it back? Yes. And Zenkai farming. They said they wanted it to be for hardcore players, so I doubt they're going to try and make it easier than they have already done. How are you so goddamn lovable? Seriously, now keep it up, man. Love your content and the way you're always so polite. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I just keep it real. I don't know. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, I guess. What are your passions? What are my passions? I guess training. Training are my passions, really. I am thinking of starting a channel. Yes, like I said before, anytime is the best time. Favorite anime, I already said. Goals for 2020. Be debt-free, finish our student loans. Have X amount. It's basically, my goals for personal are mainly financial. As I started full-time work recently last year, it's to be debt-free this year, and to have a sizable amount saved, and to have certain amounts dedicated towards investments and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say that. What is the optimal approach for someone wanting to enjoy Dragon Ball and make some content? If Dolphin, free-to-play, or Whale, be as free-to-play as possible. I said before, just enjoy the content that you're doing. If you think you're going to enjoy making it, then other people are going to enjoy watching it. That's usually how it goes. What do I like most about Legends? I like the uniqueness of the characters. I like how you can string teams together and make kits work. There's a lot of depth towards the teams, to be honest. And for a mobile game, they really nailed it for what you're able to do. If we ignore the star system, And if we ignore lag in PvP, you gotta admit the game is really damn well done. Said that, how or what would you do to improve Dragon Ball Legends gameplay content? 1 Rising Rush per match. Don't let Rising Rush be a thing within the first 30 timer counts, because it really goes against the comeback mechanic stuff. And then it fixed the lag in PvP. Next free-to-play unit, I said it was going to be the Legends Road Trunks, and he did get the Zenkai. Not gonna say. Do I ever get bored? No. Favorite fictional, already said. We already know. Worst meta is regen. Do I have a pet? No. We're full. Do you have any, or do you have more I don't have any figurines. Already explained. I like pancakes. What was your favorite thing to do during high school? Just taking part in athletics and stuff like that. Try to do the extracurricular stuff, because high school's a fun time to do all that. Second favorite iteration of Goku, probably UI. What else do we got here? I think more of it is gonna be the same. I think most of it is gonna be the same. Either they're personal, or it's gonna be the same questions that we've already answered, I feel. Yeah, I think that's what they're mainly gonna be. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. I feel like a lot of the questions are pretty much the same. Oh, this is a good one. How would you feel if they added the spectating feature? Okay, I think that should be a given for a fighting game. Why wouldn't we be able to spectate? And there should be another thing. When we go into private match, we should have access to like all the characters, and everyone should be on the same playing field in terms of stars or everything. Because if you're gonna let us face each other 1v1, it doesn't make any sense for us not to be on the same playing field here. They should let us tinker with the settings a lot more too. Let us be able to disable Rising Rush, disable X or Y, you know, disable Feint, Paralysis, even if it's embedded in someone's kit, just make it not occur. We should have more freedom to how we want to play against our friends, really. Yeah, I feel like all of these are mainly the same, so I feel like I answered everything already. Have I watched Hunter x Hunter? Yes, I have. Well, what would I rate it? 10 out of 10. Favorite thing. If Legends ever shuts down in the future, or you get bored, what other games would you play? I'd probably just stick to playing like some AAA games that are exciting at the time. We'll see. Yeah, I would consider it. Is there a philosophy you adhere to? With that, do you side with an ideology, or do you avoid ideologies? Keep up the great content. Philosophy I adhere to. I guess I said it before. It's like, I don't know, just be kind to everyone. You never really know what kind of battles people fight on a personal level. You know what I mean? So in this, you know, information age, this digital era, people are like, it's very easy for people to be mean because they don't see a face, they don't see the emotion that's tied to somebody else, they just feel their own. I think it's important for people to take a step back and realize that that's another human being you're talking to, and regardless of what they've done to upset you, whether it be them beating you in a game or what, no one is worth any verbal abuse or bullying, because you don't know what battles they're facing on their own. So just be kind to everybody. Especially with this game, I've noticed the community can be a little bit more riled up as of late, especially as the game grows. So just a reminder that it's just a game. If your opponent beats you with 2 Rising Rushes, Feint, Paralysis, so be it. You'll lose some RP, but you'll gain more in the end because you're determined. There's no use getting angry at that person and trying to chew them out, because you don't know what they're doing. They're just playing the game just as you are. You got unlucky, that's all it is. There's no point in getting angry at somebody for it. Yeah, I guess that kind of answers it. Philosophy, just be kind to everyone. Do I side with an ideology? Not really, just be free thinking about things. But anyways, I think that's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed a simple Q&A. Actually, I say simple, but it's almost 35 minutes long. But yeah, thank you everybody for supporting. 50,000 subscribers is a monstrous goal that I never thought I would achieve at all, really. So having any sort of audience means the world to me. And for you guys that always share your thoughts, take part in sort of the community that we have, and, you know, always take the time to engage and watch the content, it means a lot to me. I don't know what else to say, really. I don't think there are enough words to show my appreciation, so all I can say is thank you. And let's continue on the momentum that we have and try to crush this year's goal, because we're really goal driven here. So thank you everybody for subscribing. Thank you everybody for always tuning in. Thank you everyone for supporting, being kind, wishing well. But until next time, peace.